Now we're going to be looking at the most effective way of doing a kimura from side control and the most effective kimura from side control. When we have the underhook here, what I want to do is I want my crossface arm underneath her armpit. So when I'm here, I'm going to lift my arm up to my shoulder across, going to drop my elbow in underneath here, and then lift and go underneath with my arm. When I get to here, I'm going to drop my hip down, and then I'm going to turn my head towards her hip because it's going to open up the wrist. So I'm going to straighten out my arm, turn my head, and then from here you can just lean your chest forward a little bit. It's going to create a little hole up against the neck where again I can get the thumb in and push down. So here, grab the thumb, and now when I come to here, I'm going to push it out to the ground instead of just keeping on her stomach. So from here, push it out to the ground, drop your elbow into their hip, and now go for the kimura grip. Now I'm going to have my knee from the hip go into the armpit, and then I'm going to turn again. So knee into the armpit, going to step over her head, and then drop down to her ribs. And now I'm going to pull her elbow upwards and towards my chest, and then I'm going to push down on her wrist. Here, slowly sit back while I push on the wrist. And if you get to a point where they don't really tap yet, just start leaning and pulling their elbow in because you can just get the tap easy from there because you keep leaning backwards here. Just remember to push and activate your wrist and keep pushing in from here, and then you get it. So the same here. I'm gonna lift her elbow, and hide. Now I'm gonna turn over, hip down, chest forward. Because as you can see, there's a little bit of space here. And now I can come across, grab it, and now I'm gonna open up and push her arm out. Drop your elbow into her hip as a frame and get your kimura grip. Knee into the armpit, step over, and now I'm gonna sit back, just slightly go down to the side, and then pull her elbow into my chest and keep the wrist down. And then from here, you can just keep leaning. A way to set this up is if they get the arm in the neck is from here, I'm gonna grab the shoulder, and now I'm gonna do a big swing with my arm with the crossface and get into her elbow joint. So from here, I'm gonna swing across, and now when I pull my other arm in, this one is gonna come underneath her elbow because I just want to make sure her elbow can't touch the ground. So from here, I'm gonna pull up and drop in because now we're in the same position we were in before. Shoulder forwards, chest up here, and now turn, drop it down, and make sure you get a 90-degree angle on the elbow. Knee into the armpit, step over, and then sit back, push, and then we get the tap again. The second option with the kimura is where we're going to be ending up sitting on them. Same setup, elbow up, elbow underneath, gonna turn, and now instead of trying to get her wrist out to the mat, I'm simply just gonna get it into her belly button and get the kimura grip from here. Same knee comes into the armpit, gonna slide up, and now I'm gonna step over their head and pull them up at the same time. So I'm gonna step up, pull the elbow up, and now come down, sit. When you pull this arm up, if they have something to grip or they grip their hands, from here, just pull it outwards and around. So out and a big circle. So from here, I'm gonna pull out and then a big circle. And if you're in training with your training partners, instead of just cranking it backwards here, just when you come out and lift, just put it behind their back. Because even from here, it's fairly easy to finish. Wrist goes up, elbow goes forward, and then I'm gonna lean my forearm into their ribs because it also creates some pressure. So from here, just push and then lean forward here, and then you can get a tap fairly easy. From this angle here, I'm gonna lift the elbow up, elbow underneath, gonna turn over again, drop my hip down, and now instead of trying to get her wrist out, into her belly button, get a kimura grip, sliding my knee into her armpit here, gonna step over big, because when you step over big, you can lift up, sit on your knees, and then from here, out, big circle, and then again, in training, just drop it behind their back because it's easier to control so you don't injure your training partners. So from here, just down, forearm into the ribs, and then just slowly lean forward and activate everything. Push their wrist up and then apply pressure through the elbow. So from here, you just lean forward and then you can finish from there. If you're in competition, same, but instead of stopping behind the back, you kind of like crank it to the outside here, elbow into the ribs instead of the forearm, so you just get a bit further out. And then again, you can just lean and you can apply even more pressure. The third way that most people, the classic way you see people finish from here, up, sit, and rotate, which is also really good. I just really like from here to put my elbow into the ribs because now I can just use my body weight instead of using power in my core here. Now I can just lean and that is gonna push the elbow forward and the wrist backwards.